So inside there, you see those four little bodies? See those four little bodies between there? That's going to be our corpora quadrigemini. Of course, these two large ones at the top are superior colliculi, and what do we say about superior colliculi responsible for?
Visual.
Visual reflexes, yes. And then the inferior colliculi down here at the bottom. Brandon, if you can see that, inferior colliculi, those are what? Auditory reflexes or hearing reflexes. Okay. So, corpora quadrigemini, superior and inferior colliculi. Separate the two cerebral hemispheres. So I open that up and it's starting to tear a little bit already, so I'm going to pull too hard. You see where it kind of turns white in the middle there? Brennan, do you see that? Where it kind of turns white in the middle and it's tearing a little bit? That is the corpus callosum, that commissural tract that goes between the two hemispheres. When somebody has a seizure disorder, a lot of times they'll cut that so that the hemispheres can't communicate anymore. That causes a lot of problems, obviously, so it's only done in extreme cases. So we're just going to cut this sagittally right down the middle. And we'll go all the way down through the cerebellum and the brainstem and spinal cord. Okay. A little bit of Duramax is going to be a pain in the butt. Okay. So here we have the sagittal section of the brain, which is how most of your brains will be presented on the practical. So from the inside here, arbor vitae of the cerebellum, you don't have to label it as arbor vitae, just cerebellum's fine. Cerebrum, that white matter bridge right here. Matter bridge. So if I put a pin right there, that would be corpus callosum. Now underneath the corpus callosum, see the space in here? That's the lateral ventricle. Open that up a little bit. That's where the cerebral spinal fluid lives. Okay? So tough to see the different parts of the brainstem from in here, but if I flip it, you can see medulla, pons, midbrain, spinal cord.
We just need to be able to identify the lateral ventricle in the sheep brain.
The lateral ventricle is the only ventricle you need. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look. There's the fourth. That's pretty hard to distinguish. So don't worry about it. And the third, we pretty much cut in half. So this round structure right here in the middle, that's the thalamus. Again, this round structure here in the middle, that's the thalamus, and just below here, that's probably one of the best hypothalamuses I've seen. Like in here, you can see it kind of changes color a bit as well. Okay, so thalamus, hypothalamus. I think that might be it. Oh, the different lobes of the cerebrum. So if the cerebrum's sitting out like this, what lobe is that?
Frontal.
Right. What lobe is that?
24.
What lobe is that?
Frontal.
Parietal.
Parietal.
Occipital. Okay. Now we could go over quickly functions, which we kind of did in lecture today a little bit. What are the functions of the cerebrum? A lot of stuff. Thought, visual perception, auditory perception, sensory perception, motor activation, motor planning, blah, 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 blah. Basically, it's a function of the brain. The cerebrum is doing it. What are the functions of the cerebellum?
Coordination.
Posture. Right. What are the functions of the brainstem?
Consciousness.
Consciousness from the reticular activating system. What else? Relay center. Relaying sensory and motor pathways from the spinal cord to the brain. So obviously functions of cranial nerves are, olfaction is smell and optic is sight. So nothing too big there. We talked about the functions of the corpora quadrigemini, superior caliculi, visual reflexes, inferior caliculi, auditory reflexes. Right. Functions of the thalamus.
Heat regulation.
No, that's hypothalamus.
Oh, sorry.
Emotions.
Yeah. Let's stick with the one big one. Major sensory relay center station. Major sensory relay center or station. Okay. Corpus callosum. Brain bridges hemispheres. Lateral ventricle.
The
Cerebral spinal fluid. That's, you just write CSF, you get it right. Yeah, that's probably it. Okay. So that's the brain.
Cool.
So, spinal cord, medulla oblongata is first bulge there. Pons is the next bulge, and the midbrain. So those are the three parts of the brainstem. Okay. Temporal lobe, optic tract, chiasm, and nerve. So nerves go to the eyeballs, they come together into the chiasm, and the tracts go back into the brain. Olfactory bulb and olfactory tract. See, this bulb right here has been ripped off. Okay? So that's most of what you can see from the underside of the brain when it's still intact. If we flip it to the other side, you have the cerebrum, the cerebellum. If we separate those two structures, pull it apart there, and that